Welcome, in advance anyways, to Boston. My name is Jonah. I'm a registered dietitian, and I share a private practice here in the Boston area with my wife, Joanne, who's also a dietitian. Joanne and I are both from the Boston area, so we're extremely excited to have the ASDAH conference here in our backyard this summer. Very much looking forward to meeting you all face-to-face this July. I did my schooling here in Boston. I had my dietetic internship at one of the large hospitals downtown. During that internship, I had a rotation in a clinic where there were two dietitians working. Now, relative to each other, one of these dietitians was much bigger, the other dietitian was much smaller. And it was really interesting to see how patients reacted to the difference. Because what I found was that there are some patients who, in reference to the larger dietitian, would say, "Look how big she is. How can she possibly help me?" Whereas other patients, in reference to the smaller dietitian, would say, "Look how small she is. How can she possibly understand what it's like to be me?" So for me, as an intern, as a future dietitian, it raised this question of, well, what am I supposed to look like then? And it was really my first exposure to the size-based biases that many patients hold about their practitioners. And it was the root inspiration for the talk that I'm going to be giving this summer, which I've nicknamed Looking the Part, which is really going to be examining some of these size-based biases that patients hold and then addressing this follow-up question of what do we do about it. So I've split the talk up into two sections. The first section is going to be looking at some of the research that's been done on the subject. And then the second half is going to be addressing this question of, well, how do we deal with it? So you and I, we might have our own personal opinions in terms of whether or not practitioner size should matter, but it's almost irrelevant because regardless of what you and I think, patients are still coming into the office with these biases and bringing it into their care. So we need to be able to roll with it and have these difficult conversations so that we can move beyond their biases and still provide them the best quality care that we can. So to that end, I'm going to be sharing with you some motivational interviewing techniques and principles that we can apply to the situation. So that's going to be my talk. Very much looking forward to it. Whether you're coming from around the corner like we are or coming from the other side of the planet, thank you so much in advance for being here. I really respect your time and I'm going to do everything I can to make it worthwhile. Looking forward to seeing you then. Thanks so much.